So, Will, would you say that this is quite a, maybe quite a broad question, but do you think reality TV is like a force for good? Like, who do you think it benefits? What are the positive and negatives of it, do you think?
Yeah, well, as you said, it's like there's a very big flip side. It's like the positives of reality TV is that, it obviously provides like a form of entertainment for some people. Is like I obviously, as I said before, I'm obsessed with reality TV. Like it's something that like I watch when I'm bored and it really picks me up when I feel that happy. It gives a
Yeah.
positive aspect to it. And there's also a positive aspect is that especially competition reality and some other reality, it kind of allows people who, maybe have that quirky aspect about them to become like in the public eye. So it
Mm,
really allows people to like, maybe get a following and then, people
mm.
who are like obviously going away from it, I was put on this earth to be famous. And I will say that. Like that is the reason I am the way
Yeah.
I am. No, I'm
Yeah.
joking. But like I always I've always said this to my friends. I was like, if something ever happened to me and I was on this morning, I would take Ryland's job. Because they'd be like, you can be the presenter. I'd be like, um no, but obviously the downside of reality TV, and I will say this as well, is that it does create an unhealthy vision and it does put so talk about this without being like a bit tongue in cheek. So competition reality at the moment, especially like the ones that's all like like ones about love, the ones about like blah blah blah, like especially Towie, it's and like Made in Chelsea, you never see normal people on there, and it's what I
No.
said before. You don't see Kathleen Three Doors Down who works at Asda. It's
Yeah.
always like people who look a certain way. It's how they act. It's are they appealing, and then the people who don't fit into that box seem to have like to be on the opposite end of the spectrum, e.g. Gemma Collins. Like when you look at the Towie cast, they were all big boob, like especially the females were all big boobs, big lips, like
Mm,
extensions, designer gear. And then she was obviously always on this battle of losing weight, putting it back on, losing weight. And then she steered off and was like, well, I'm happy who I am and I'm the GC. And she made this
yeah.
larger than life character.
Yeah.
But it does put an unhealthy aspect, especially like I mean, I'm trying to think like there's very I'm trying to think in like Towie and all them shows and like Love Island as well. That's one of the biggest love reality TV shows going.
Mm,
I know there's not a lot of LGBT representation, so I never see myself in any of them. But I
no.
know that a lot of boys and girls, young ones, like 13, 14-year-olds, are looking up to these people being like, I need to have a six pack or I need to have like,
Mm,
long hair and I need to be wasting and I need to like, be an Instagram influencer. And we are kind of like conditioning this younger generation to be
yeah.
like, and obviously TikTok being this big thing now, we're conditioning these people to be like, if you don't have a following, you're really no one.
Yeah.
And I think that's causing like a weird psychosis in kids these days. And I think that does stem from reality TV.
Yeah, definitely. And Love Island has been a huge example of a reality TV show that's been so successful and that a lot of people watch. There's also been so many, like, obviously sad stories that have actually come as a consequence from
Oh,
it.
100% about
Um,
the contestants who were on it, who've obviously
yeah,
taken their own lives, rest their soul.
yeah,
And it's like, is that the dark side of this reality world that we really don't see? Like, because
yeah,
obviously, I mean, the best way to explain it, obviously, me linking it back to Big Brother was Kim Woodburn, and she said, "What you see is a pardon a hiccup. Then what you see is a 1 hour edited piece on television,
yeah,
and." There's a 24-hour world around that you don't see, and it's these people who look up to people and are like, oh my god, have you seen Kim Kardashian on that episode? She's this, she's that. And it's like, yeah, but that's only a 1 hour episode. Like what's she like 24/7? And I think
mm,
that's why nowadays like all these reality stars who are getting pulled and cancelled left, right, and center is because people are realizing, oh, they're not like the way they said they were on telly. Like they're actually completely different.
mm. It feels like, obviously with Love Island, for example, obviously they've pledged now to have a better duty of care to their contestants, but it's still difficult because
Yeah.
they are knowingly kind of they know they've got a good thing going on there, so they know they're knowingly kind of taking advantage of people's desire to be on the show, and Yeah, like I remember watching a YouTube video a while ago of a contestant that ended up being on it, but you know, she was messed around a lot in the run up to being on the show, and it just didn't seem like they were treated that well. And you know, but obviously they're going on to the show themselves to get exposure, but they also know what it's going to, well, they might not know exactly what it's going to be like, but it's also kind of the responsibilities on the contestants as well to make sure that it, you know, that it is a healthy thing for them. So it's difficult, like whose responsibility is it to provide that duty of care? And it's just very difficult, but the contestants clearly do benefit from being on shows like this because they're able to build a brand, get more exposure. Maybe I think what's good is that it gives maybe some creative people the chance to actually pursue a passion or be creative that they don't get ordinarily in life, because being creative generally in society is more difficult to make as a living anyway, which that's a good thing, I think.
Yeah. To be honest, that is the beauty. It's like, especially with, and not with like reality, with competition reality, the way it's going now is that it's showing a lot. Like back in the day, it was X Factor, Britain's Got Talent. Like that was it, hands down. It was never, and obviously like America had America's Next Top Model, Project Runway. But now, like I was watching telly the other day, and it was like, it was an advert for like the Great British Pottery class, and I'm like, you're showing stuff that isn't that. No, like and do you know what? Excuse me, coming from someone who was heavily influenced in the art scene, I was like, yes, like
Yeah.
I do not want to watch people bake a cake anymore. Make me a vase.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good exposure. I saw on the other day they were advertising for dog grooming, like a bake-off but for dog grooming.
Perfect pooch, perfect pooch. It's so good. Oh my god, that's what it's called. I watched
Is
it
it?
last night.
Did you?
Excuse me, I'm sorry, but like, yeah. Oh my god. Oh, Matt, you need to watch it. It's so good. It's like the first challenge they had to like groom a Malamute, and like they were covered in hair, and then the second one they had to like give these dogs a haircut, and I can't remember the girl's name on it, but the girl who cut the Bichon Frise. Oh my god, the dog was absolutely, in the words of Juno Birch, stunning.